Hey everyone, it's me Andy with 2 E's, and you've come to my show, Simply Rent It, which is also the name of my business. I am your professional licensed rental consultant who has a deep passion for helping landlord investors save time, gain knowledge, and reduce risk without having to spend a ton of money hiring a full-time property manager. On this show, you'll learn all the tips and tricks you need for your investment property journey. And on today's show, I wanted to cover two very important topics. If you are watching and you live here in Iowa and you're following this channel, you know that we just had the craziest storm that maybe some of you have ever been through. I know it was probably the scariest storm I've ever been through, and it was called the Derecho or something like that. But it's basically like a hurricane in Iowa, just like straight line winds. And if you've ever been through a hurricane, maybe you're thinking, that's nothing like a hurricane. So apologize if that offended you at all, but that was pretty crazy. It kind of seemed like a tornado, but the winds just kept blowing and blowing and blowing, and they never seemed to stop for a really long time. The neighborhood that I live in suffered quite a bit of damage, so you may hear throughout the video sounds of chainsaws going because the neighborhood is still working on cleaning up very diligently. And maybe you as a landlord investor have some properties that also were damaged. And so I wanted to cover property insurance for your investment, and I also wanted to touch base for renters on renters insurance. So if you're a landlord investor and your property suffered a lot of damage, I would highly suggest reaching out to your insurance agent, letting them know what happened, and getting a contractor out there to see if they can give you an estimate on how much the cost is going to be to repair things. You may have damage such as shingles missing, soffit, siding damage. I know people out here in my neighborhood, some of them had trees on their roofs of their garage and the house. We were very fortunate and lucky that we didn't get any damage to our home. But if you are experiencing that, please work through your insurance company. And if you're thinking, I don't need to make a claim because my property didn't suffer any damage, but you have downed trees or a lot of tree damage that needs cleaned up, that will cost a lot of money, I would highly suggest looking into your insurance policy. A lot of them have extra coverage for tree removal service. We have to pay it'll cover up to like $500 or so of tree removal. Some policies go a little bit higher than that, but talk with your insurance agent. I know they're probably all very busy and overwhelmed right now, but it's important to reach out and make sure that you're covering all your bases as far as your property goes. Now, if you're a tenant and you have renter's insurance and you've lost your food because the power's out, some places in Iowa still don't have power and may not have power for a few more days yet. So if you've lost your food and you're very upset and concerned about that, reach out to your insurance agent. A lot of renter policies will have coverage for food loss in a power outage like that. If you don't have renter's insurance and you've lost all of your food, I would highly suggest reaching out to an insurance agent and getting a quote for renter's insurance, because it covers things like this. And renter's insurance is very affordable, in my opinion. You can sometimes get coverage for as low as $10 or $12 a month. And it would help in situations like this. So if you don't have insurance, definitely reach out and get a bid from an insurance agent. There are several here in town that would assist you, but also there are several 800 numbers that you can call as well. And if you're needing some references for insurance companies, I can list a few below, but they're just a few. So make sure you do Google search and, shop around and get the ones that you feel comfortable with and that you have a good relationship with communication-wise, because communication is very important in all instances. So the second thing that I wanted to cover on this video today was just to talk about a rental market update. We are only a few days away from college starting, and if you're a landlord investor who still has some properties available for rent, you may be still in panic mode or wanting to get them filled as soon as possible. So I thought I would just go over quickly what I found online as far as the rental market update goes, and provide you with where the market is at. Not a lot has changed because it's only been a couple weeks, but here we go. So for the studio, the average price for a rental there was $655 in rent. A one bedroom was $730 in rent. That's actually a $5 increase in the period of 2 weeks. The three bedroom was $995, and that is a $5 decrease. Again, the 3 and 4 bedrooms prices, I believe, are skewed. I'll say it again in every video because places put them up for rent per bedroom instead of the total price of the whole unit. And then the 4 bedroom, the average price was $1,200, and that was actually a decrease of $195. So I got this information from Zumper, and I also checked out the websites Zillow, Trulia, Apartments.com, and HotPads. And on average, I think places have moved anywhere between 20 and 30 in a period of 2 weeks have come off the market. I can attest to this because I actually filled like 3 units within 1 weekend. So people are still looking, they're still reaching out, I'm still getting leads, so hang in there if you still have a property available for rent, and hopefully you are able to get it rented. But if you would like a little extra assistance, I have room and availability. Reach out to me. I would be happy to help with advertisings, showings, getting the places rented as far as pictures go online, and helping with lease signing, all of those things. So if you find yourself extra busy because of all this storm cleanup and you really don't have time for showings now, that's a service I offer. So please feel free to reach out to me. And then lastly, I just wanted to give a few resources that I found through Google search, but I've also worked with some of these companies throughout my career in property management here in town. So there are several tree services that you could use if you're needing help getting a bid either for insurance or just want to take care of it yourself. And they're very nice companies that are able to come in, take care of everything for you, remove it, and then you're done. So I'll just name off a few that I have found through the Google search and also places I've worked with, but make sure you do your own research as well. So the ones that I came up with were Pitt's Lawn and Tree Service, Story Tree, Ames Story Tree, let's see, we got American Tree Care, Central Iowa Tree Care, Dan's Custom Landscapes. There's also Weiss Tree Service, and D&J's Complete Tree Service I found on there. I've never used them personally, but I'm sure they would be able to come out and assist you as well. Then you got Emma Joe's Tree Service, Fry's Tree Service. They're actually helping in the neighborhood I live in, and they've done a fantastic job so far. And then there's also Finco Wood Service. So those are just a few that I've found online and that I've worked with personally in the past. So again, do your own research. Reach out to professionals if you need the help. Contact your insurance agents for assistance with tree removal, or if you have damage as a renter regarding loss of food, or maybe the property you're renting in suffered a lot of damage and you have water damage and some of your belongings are damaged. Renter's insurance would help cover that as well. Of course, you'll have to look into what your deductible is and pay that, but then insurance comes in and takes care of the rest. So make sure to document everything and keep your receipts. Take as many pictures as possible. Those are all really helpful things for insurance agents. So thank you so much for tuning in this week. I post new videos every Friday, and I will see you again next week.